Well, hello people, and welcome back to another episode of City Showcase. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we are looking at the city of Eurasian Valley by Abdul Qadir, a Istanbul meets American grid style city on a really interesting kind of island archipelago. Super interesting and very visually pleasing city today. Don't forget, if you want your work featured, fill out the link to the Google form in the video description. There are some light mods at play here, but mostly official assets. Get stuck into this island city archipelago, shall we? So first of all, let's start with our orbital view. So I do recognize this map, but I can't name it. I'm pretty sure it's a custom one, but I feel like I've seen it before. Map submitter did not leave the map name, so if you do know what it is, leave a comment in the comments below. But I can almost recognize it, but not quite. But first of all, how visually pleasing is this? The road hierarchy flowing through all these islands is just a sight to behold, isn't it? Isn't that wonderful? That's probably our thumbnail today, you know? Beautiful. So let's pick a place to start. Why don't we come out from the smaller island, and then we'll move our way onto this larger structure. So from our outside connection, we're going to head over here into some very repeated and heavy industrial design. So I wonder if almost each of the islands has a theme. This one's obviously very industrial focused. There is industry present elsewhere though, so maybe not. Where this is super cool, isn't it? So well organized. Love this interchange, the classic modular build interchange, and it's working for you as well, I like to see. Very cool. Nice little vanilla solution, this. And then we come into Industry City. Tons of oil in a very repetitive design. I love the pathways here too. Everything's so neat. Airport apron also present. Little pathways here between the oil districts. Mass repeated refinery. 2 of them. This is why I wish we could place more than one of the unit buildings, you know? Because you can make some, especially if you twist this 180 degrees so it's not perfectly mirrored. Not that that's a criticism at all. But you just get this view, right? Just long industrial infrastructure, like a refinery is. I think 2 of them together is very impactful, isn't it? Awesome. Great stuff. There's some nice detail in here with shipping containers between 2 post sorting facilities, which I really like. Alongside lots of fish market, forestry and oil over here. More oil storage with the 3rd refinery. You must be making this oil area must be making a fair amount of money with 3 factories in it. Where's the district? Yeah, total profit 118,000. Brilliant, mate. That's one of the highest earning oil areas I've ever seen. That's very cool. With that 3 refineries to boot and a lovely little circular one-way flow system as well for your cargo trains. Very tasty. I like that. Some fishing occupies the coast as we come up to a cargo harbour where we see lots of repeated sewage, some really dense evergreen forest here as well, which is blended in because those are plantations. We can wait, that's not a plantation, is it? Is that just an individual building? Not an industrial area. He should be. I actually have had some difficulty loading up some of the districts. Yeah, some of the things are missing. Not sure why. Well, it's fine, doesn't matter. It's only for showcase anyway. Yes, that is the actual building, isn't it? Yeah, I thought they were hand placed. Well, that's really nice though. Blended in the forestry production with natural evergreen forest, with plenty more fishing and sewage facility alongside the port. Oh, isn't that a cool view? That's such a nice industrial area. This is like great orientation of assets and chunky industry. Really, really cool. This is something like this is totally achievable in vanilla as well. This is lightly modded, but you know, it's not overly modded, is it? It's just that those pain points removal, really. Which is definitely my preferred way of playing, I think, CS1 these days. That more lightly modded plays essentially what we do with Ilium. Port plant with storage behind it, sawmills, tons of warehouses all storing the products for these factories, plain timber, metal, etc. I love the stack, well, the visual of kind of piled up ore or aggregate. And then the steel plant occupies a big ore industry area here as well. There's even a little castle ruin, isn't this fun? Nice ways to use the castle walls. I'm not sure if that comes with the map, or if it was placed by the builder. But I like it, whoever made it. And mass garbage processing over here as well with some more sewage. This is a great alignment of the storage and the workers' barracks. I really like that. That's very tasty. And some commercial in here. Little ore pockets in here too, functioning ore. And then of course the big bucket excavators which are sat down in a slightly recessed pit with lots more farming infrastructure here. So because you've placed this so many times, you're getting such a busy vehicle aesthetic, aren't you? Which is something I've never really done before with the ore. To mass place them so you get tons of vehicles, because of course there's no vehicle props in CS1. Not for that without the workshop, of course, anyway. And then 2 cranes behind the excavators, so a really neat, tidy industrial area. And it's very visually striking, isn't it? Because it's so organised. But I really like it. Super cool. And amazing profit as well, clearly. Leaving Industry City, we'll cross over a nice bridge. Which again is very nicely graded. I'm not sure if these bridges are map maker or builder. Couldn't comment on that. And then we come into a vanilla and mid-century modern housing district with a metro station also running through here. As we do come across metro, let's have a look at our traffic. See what we're running at. 77% for 146,000 is pretty decent. And let's check out the choke points. So, I mean, that connection there is probably actually dragging your traffic score quite down. This is an example actually of when short segments can be damaging. When they are on main roads like this. Maybe just give that a bit more room and this will free up quite nicely. But that's, I imagine that junction is probably the one that's dragging you down quite a bit. If you fix that, it'll probably come up a bit. You know, the other ones aren't particularly choked, are they? They're just a bit busy. Well, that's nice. Especially through here as well, right? This is all red, but just busy roads. Very tasty in our public transport. 2,250. And then just over 5 on the tourists with looks like metro and getting the most amount of use. Back to where we were anyway. Crossing over. We'll pay attention immediately to this campus that sits at the foot of this residential district here. Some enjoyable orientation of the right assets. Even use a couple of the ice boxes at the front of the station. That's so nice. I love seeing the respect paid to the front of a station. Some appropriate commercial here. Very nice. Oh, look at that. Just a nice build-up with the factory in the foreground. There's some really, really great sight lines around this city already, isn't there? Fantastic skyline work. Let's pop up here to the first campus. Oh, that's so nice, isn't it? I love the entrance, what you've done with the road here and the concrete in the bus station. That's such a nice way to open up into the facility, isn't it? And again, neat and organised is the order of the day. We've got helicopters stopping here as well. Alongside pretty much all the campus buildings, all 3 of the unique buildings are here. Including a tower, which is a very interesting choice. I've never put skyscrapers in my campuses. I've used the campus assets in downtowns before. That's a really unique view, isn't it? I like that tower as well. I like that. Very dark this side. Very intense shadows. But look at this campus organisation. Even little side angles here have been respected. It looks like you can just cut all the way through. Some fusing of dormitories as well. Oh, that pathwork out the back, that's so nice. All respected. I love seeing the respect of a facility, if you like a campus or an industry area. Prison, just one of those kind of facility builds, you know. And then the media lab tucked up on the corner here as well. That's probably one of the nicest hilltop campuses I've seen. It's quite simple. It's not massive, but it's just so well arranged. With details to enjoy, like the little pathways behind the dorms to the unique building. Brilliant. I really, really like that. While we're over here, let's grab this port where we can see a cable car heading down to there through this tree line. Where we'll see a ferry and some commercial. With some parks. A little bit of car wash repetition. Oh no, a petrol station repetition. This is the power of plot the grow balls, isn't it? You get exactly what you want in whatever style. I love this. This is a really nice vanilla petrol station design. You could do 3 of these and then duplicate them as well to make 6 to just increase the footprint. I love that. This is very inspiring. Little tourist and gazebo parks tucked in with the mid-century modern hotel. Very nicely decorated roundabout as we come into another industrial port, which has got garbage recycling, a lot of garbage recycling. Actually, the monument is also here. The lemonade factory, a prison. More post-sorting facility as well, with more of that container detailing. The bakery, more cargo train facility. And then, of course, the little custom prison over here, which is really nice. Got 2 prison builds here with some of the disaster assets in between. Police, fire, garbage, and helicopter also here, with the classic fire watchtower repurposed into a guard tower with fence and paths around it. Really nice official asset prison, that. You can immediately tell what it is as well, can't you? Shipping containers and the fish factory. The fish market as well. And then the lemonade factory sees out this keyed port, which again is just so organised, isn't it? Just immaculately laid out. Really cool. Abdul is clearly a very talented CS1 builder. He has had his work shown on City Showcase before as well. What's that? This is his first modded submission, at least. Back to this port on the other side. We'll see yet more chunky industry, those factories we saw earlier. We'll see pretty much all of them. We've got the shipyard, furniture factory, car factory, electronics, and a bunch of the high-tech content creator pack assets as well, which are basically still factories. Semiconductor plants, etc. An airport train station also in here, with another little interchange, which again is getting some pretty nice flow on it. Some really interesting configurations here as well, isn't there? Look at this. This almost reminds me as well of one of the modular build interchanges we did. I wonder if it's inspired by that. Maybe. That's getting great flow though, isn't it? Nice little, something different as well, you know? Very nice. Over here we'll also find the furniture and toy factories as well. With silos. Just a really nicely put together industrial area. That's a great combination of assets, that as well, isn't it? What's that? The home plastics factory with the shipyard. Great combo. So Factory Island over here. I love it. Very nice. Where should we go? So much to see. Let's come in here. Let's grab this half of the island. And then we'll sweep around and grab this. So let's come on to this pier. Where we'll find a waterfront stadium that's got to have a wonderful view, surely. Oh, yes, look at that. Isn't that a wonderful view? Probably from up here as well, right? You'll see the skyline. Fantastic. Wonderfully positioned stadium, that. With nice car parking design out the front. Commercial strips and parkland head inland, if you like. I will also see sewage, even the hydro plant as well, which isn't something we see very often. Then we've got the Modern Art Museum. Oh, look at this. Isn't this a fun little extension of the Aviation Club? I love that. Some prop fence work around here. Using all official assets, of course. Really cool. Even with the airport ones as well. Didn't even see a plane take off, just in time. Again, this might be one of the better uses of the Aviation Club I've seen. I love how you've extended it like this. Super cool. Even goes all the way back here as well. I love that. Really, really nice. You've really pushed that building to its limit, haven't you? Super inspiring. Love all the dirt around the edge of the runway as well. Really makes it stand out, doesn't it? Fire watchtowers, helicopters, and the secret agency also lie over here. With 2 disaster bunkers and the response unit. Seeing off the edge of the island with even more of them here too. On this side of the highway, which has some wonderful bus frontage on it, doesn't it? Isn't that a wonderful network alignment? That's very Phoenix. That reminds me of Phoenix all the time. the road-on-road action with the arterials. And then this is our outside connection. There's nothing out here. But we'll swing back to the other side of the highway and catch this big old wall-to-wall district, which flows with parkland in between. Love the extension of the working assets flowing into the other ones. So you got 2 parks here, and then one of those square ones. It's all interconnected. This is amazing. I love this. That's such a nice park. Really, really nice. I love the single use of the decals. Oh, even with the metro station tucked in as well. That's a little round of applause moment. This very rarely happens on City Showcase, but that is amazing. Just alignment city, isn't it? Oh, that's so good. I really like that, Abdul. Really nice. And this whole walkable pedestrian area is just full of spices. Let's get a little view down to this glass roof plaza we just saw then, shall we? I think it's on our left down here. We've even got the unique building integrated, which is just so nice, isn't it? Like, look at all these corners and stairs you're getting. Fantastic. And there it is. Love seeing these assets, the glass roofs. Very nicely integrated upon big old pedestrian waterfront with even more landscaping in between everyone. Look at that. Isn't that just probably one of the best pedestrian areas we've seen? Even with the bus-only road cutting through the middle as well. This really is probably the best pedestrian district I've probably seen on City Showcase so far. Then you've even got all your plazas and promenades, services and buildings clustered together in a little skyline. That's so nice. You got the police and elementary school, fire station, elementary school, sorry. And then the unique buildings and the taller assets to almost create like a skyline of wall to wall. That's so nice. Really like that. Of course, backs of the buildings are all respected as well. It all looks like walkable space where you take a shortcut if you were walking through here, right? Really, really nice. I'm gonna have to find some new superlatives to describe this build. It's really nice. I love it. So this is our wall-to-wall district, and you can see how the pattern repeats in these blocks of residential with the amusement park pathways. That's even more detailing at the back there as well, expanding your service point. Great stuff. Metro and bus stations here. Let's see if we can get a bit of an impression. No one got off. No one wants to come out here. But our bus station is getting some nice use. Very tasty. We have the hot air balloon park, that one, I think, isn't it? Pretty sure it is. It is hot air balloon touch, yeah. Ignore all the district warnings, for some reason they haven't loaded, but everyone's still working. We also have a ferry depot over here as well. With our ferries heading over the waters and far away. It's a deathly shipping channel, god, right? Just pick a spot and go and hope you survive on that one. Fantastic. Back to our island, we'll see Blimp and it's just the Blimp depot that isn't under the stoppage here as well on the depot. Which I have to say is probably one of the better uses of blimps I've seen. How busy are your blimps? Holy smokes. The busiest blimps in the world. 116. Where's the blimp going? Those are by far and away the busiest blimps. Where are you going, blimps? You come over here, do you? So it's just that line, is it? It's just that single stop is getting so much use. Surprising. Never seen blimps do that well before. There you go. Blimp police will be happy with that. Over here, we have Intercity Bus Station with a fish market and more bus infrastructure. It's so nice to see how naturally you've just woven your public transport into the build, like these little transit plazas, the bus road we saw coming through the pedestrian district here, which continues to flow into bus lane as well. Very nice hierarchy here. Love that. With the decorated roundabout with the circular stuff, always love to see that. I really love this whole wall-to-wall district. Just really nice. You've decorated it out so well, and it's just so uniform like the rest of the city. Next door to this, we have one of the Africa buildings with King Leno's mall stuff in a bit of a highway side mall. You've also got another one of these slip lanes here as well. This one isn't as bad though. I guess they're all choosing to come off here instead, aren't they, rather than use this one. Which is interesting. But I do like them. They are, again, they're very kind of Phoenix style slip roads actually. Yeah, that one there is working alright for you, isn't it? Another one of the Africa buildings in here as well. Before we come into a big old European district, again, which is made up of the obvious Barcelona-esque kind of super blocks. even with some pathways cutting through the middle, which has given you a very nice sort of design repetition, hasn't it? More metro plazas. And some vanilla commercial, and King Leno commercial down here too. Art Deco apartment block as well. I love these assets. I need to use these more in Ilium. I always forget about them. And a very heavily repeated Green Cities district. It all borders the edge of these European blocks, which have some Hearts of Korea commercial in there too. Alongside one of the Korea uniques sat at the end of this big central plaza, which again is all pathed. Respect the buildings around it. Some nice use of death care here as well. Here's a helicopter. Fantastic. Really nice district. This drops us in to, I guess, what is the main downtown. There's another big peak of density here, but this looks like the primary skyline, doesn't it? Which is primarily made up all of unique buildings, mostly skyscrapers, content creator pack stuff, but we've got the Modern Japan pack present as well. And then down in the streets we've got parks, paths. Love this. Look at the detail at the bottom of the towers everywhere. Love it. Bush lines and paths and benches. And then here as well, if we were to take a seat here perhaps for our lunch break. Yeah, just dominating this skyscraper tower plaza. Fantastic. CS1's a bloody good looking game, isn't it? It really is. One of my biggest gripes with 2 at the minute is the graphics and the performance, so, and CS1 is just a buttery smooth experience. You've even used a bridge segment here as well, so you get the walkways. Very clever. Love to see that. I just love being in these downtown streets. Also seen a bit of trolley bus through here as well. Very tasty. Really nice downtown space. Car parking at the bottom of these towers as well. Waterfront, we've got the Disaster Memorial, Boat Museum, tons and tons of car parking. More of those bridge segment pathways as well. Oh, look at this as well. That's so nice. Little sight lines with the pathways between the towers. Fantastic. Love it. Service buildings, medical labs, and hospitals, and the after that bus station, which isn't an asset we see very often anymore, since there's so many bus stations in the game now. This one kind of gets neglected. It's a really nice downtown asset. With a metro station and science museum and trolleybus depot, all to boot as well, plus the other museums. And plenty of service stations, mall and the theatre are also down here too. You've even dropped in some of the mid-century modern car parking in front as well, haven't you? With a little cul-de-sac of single European roads in this European suburbia district that sits next to the downtown. Which also brings us back to the factory district across the highway we were at a moment ago. Lots of tree-lined streets and paths between the houses here. We've also got our concerts arena and fan area next to a very interesting build. I wonder if this has a name. Surely it must. This looks particularly interesting. No district. So I guess we're just going with a big bio farm, maybe a hydroponics facility. You're going for 8 vertical farms, which is a very bold aesthetic, isn't it? Oh, train sightline. Oh, and again. There we go. Wonderful. So this is really nice. Driving range, also here too. Before we come across tons more. There's very little zoning in the city, isn't it? There's tons of service and unit buildings. Is the city profitable, I wonder? No, I think it was paid on unlimited money on the load, which is fine. I do like a creative build. But I think I can see why, because there is... Oh, I'm actually interested. Just look at the sightline of that tower there, behind the campus. To see if the budget sliders... Yeah, you've tried to save it, haven't you? Imagine you're spending a ton on unit buildings, yeah, 123,000. And all the services as well. Yeah. I think you've tried to save the budget, haven't you? It gets slammed with so many buildings. It's a problem in my builds as well. I love the use of after dark assets along the waterfront. For a bit of tourism space, we've got the courthouse, City Hall, Arc de Triomphe, second city showcase in a row we've seen the Arc. And with a lot of the European unit buildings here as well. Amsterdam Palace, oppression offices, government offices. With a really nice vanilla plaza repetition. That's a really nice alignment, that. Gives you quite a big decorated and, of course, interactable space as well, because we've got Sims actually enjoying these. And definitely what seems like a bit more of a government area, doesn't it? Especially with the courthouse present here. Some really nice detail around the back as well. And likewise with all this stuff, just immaculately laid out again, isn't it? As we come to the zoo, which also follows the same theme on Keyed Waterfront. A really nice alignment of the assets here, actually. And then just kind of one of each asset, isn't it? Just like the campus, it's not overly done. It's just tasteful and simple, but very well executed. As we head across the other side of the highway here, we'll pass on to the second campus, which has been really nicely arranged. We've got all 3 unique buildings present here too. With the Pyramid of Safety also in the tech campus, which isn't a bad alignment at all, is it? That actually really works. I'm just about to build one of these in Ilium. Maybe I'll take inspiration from this and feature the Pyramid of Safety in it, because it works with kind of the grey silvery aesthetic of the tech campus, doesn't it? There's a Sunset Harbour thing in here as well, alongside some wonderful alignment of fountains with this central mall in the campus. Also with a Korean elementary. And a really nice little trolley bus and bus depot. Well, sort of custom sort of stop here as well. That's so nice. Look at the road shape there. I love how you've carved out the like the pavement alignments. This looks like heavily node controlled, doesn't it? Very inspiring, that, everyone. I love that. And of course, sat next to the main campus building as well. Just great building, that, isn't it? That's just great stuff. I love that. Over here, do we miss anything? I think we've just got low density out here, haven't we? Schools and more of that wonderfully woven parkland. And then this brings us back to that mid-century modern district we found with the metro as we come onto this bit of the city. The highway interchange looks like one of the plopped vanilla clover leaves, which is flowing surprisingly well, actually. Usually these things back up like mad. But you're getting some decent flow on it there. Nicely surface painted corners as well. Bit of dirt. Which then takes us on to kind of the second half of this island, doesn't it? As we cross over this arterial structure where we see more European blocks and an enormous block of green cities as well. Huge, huge tower district. With our metro system also coming in. The metro police might get you on that bend. But I love the overgrowth in the trees between the networks here. Very nice. More of our European super blocks reappear. I love how the road shape begins to shift here as well, right? It's all following the same trajectory. Great design. So tons of commercial, residential in here. And another really nice waterfront. All the park life assets packed in with pathways, bush lines, zoo assets. The main gate is very nicely integrated with the 2 toilets, isn't it? What a wonderful waterfront park. Plenty of gazebo. Plenty of gazebo. There's loads of them. All the way around. This whole park just flows around the edge of the waterfront, doesn't it? Yeah, it doesn't stop, does it? It carries on all the way around. Doesn't stop. It never ends. There we go. That's the end of it. So it just loops all the way around this district. Which brings us into our second bit of high density. Definitely the second downtown here, right? At the foot of this Barcelona superblock district. Which is made up of a few different things. We've got the financial district in here, hotels, buildings, vanilla uniques, the stock exchange. What looks to be quite a busy metro plaza. 1015, very nice. And then we've got service and offices in here. You've used the financial district stuff relatively nicely. It's usually hard to convince me on this, but if we're going to enjoy a street level view, I can tolerate the financial district's DLC here. I'll use it a bit more in Ilium. I'm determined to enjoy that park at some point. Maybe the mods will help me get to grips with it a bit better. A really nice kind of inner city park in amongst all this density. Again, just immaculately measured and laid out, doesn't it? It almost, you know what it reminds me of looking at this city? Almost like looking at sort of like a motherboard or like a computer chip and like a bunch of like transistors. It has that kind of vibe to it, doesn't it? Like you're looking at architecture in some elaborate design. Hope that makes sense anyway. Outside of this tower, we come across an insane pattern of hugely repetitive green cities. Look at that. So loads of different designs going on here. With monorail also coming through. Pathway against the road is a very tasteful design. Monorail doesn't seem super busy. It is kind of hard to get monorail busy though, especially if there's a metro alongside it. They always usually go with metro in my experience. It also jumps over the interchange here as well. Can we watch a monorail do this? I'm not sure if the monorail police will get you for this, Abdul. But I like it. It's very cool. Very nice. And then tourism also devolves from that green cities. With lots and lots of hotels and bars around here. Taxi depot quite nicely integrated into it. Another little transit stop here next to the metro. Trams and taxis meeting out the front of there. So that's really nice. I really, really like that. Another kind of secondary downtown, isn't it? We'll finish this island here. As we leave the density, we'll see some more Korean buildings. Sounds like our European suburbia pops back up with a little bit of green cities market action at the front of the metro line here. And then the monorail also resumes this side of the highway as well. We'll find the vanilla station with plenty of car park to respect a big arena. The casino, you've got a ton of post sorting facilities around the city. This is like maybe the 7th one we've seen so far, isn't it? Again, just you're very good at interweaving the assets together. I think that's definitely one of your strong points here. I've seen it quite a lot across the city. The mid-century, modern city centre, Korean mall, and the basketball arena make up the last of this kind of chunky, high-density infrastructure here. Tons more service buildings, mid-century modern hotels, more helicopter stops as well. Your helicopters aren't rammed either. Maybe because you've integrated them properly into the network and not used them as a visual feature like I tend to do. Maybe that's the secret to them. Over here, on the backside of the arena, we'll find more sewage and fishing, park space, vanilla residential, and more industry see us develop a big sprawling farm space with a bridge crossing back over to the port we saw earlier. With dirt pathway between quay and road. And just our usual collection of farm DLC processing. Got flour mills, barns, silos. This is a very nice alignment here. Barn next to silos, a great combination, isn't it? I like that. Cow City. Next to the cattle sheds and the slaughterhouses. And then more fields take us back up to an overgrown peninsula which is full of water towers. And an antenna. Some wind turbines over here again as well. Before we see a port where we see that super repetitive industrial visual just take over again, don't we? Seeing that busy slip lane here as well. Although it does clear occasionally, doesn't it? It's not constantly backed up. I love the visual of the containers against the port. Very nice for vanilla that. Well, at least vanilla assets, if you like. You can do it in vanilla, but it's a pain to get them to spawn in. Then we have a little train station, nicely integrated with the road tip, so they don't have to stop on the road. They just go in and then out again. Nice handy gameplay. And then our oil. Storage and production with sewage, garbage processing. The CS2 Creators Library is also out here as well. Before we come across the Tinderbox Stadium with some pictures in its foreground, I think definitely indicating a wider kind of football campus, that, isn't it? I really like that. And then parks, Africa assets, all interwoven. With a match day to boot as well. I bet these guys have got quite a nice view, haven't they? From the stadium here. Probably see the downtown from a certain perspective. Yeah, you can from here. Which is a really nice skyline, isn't it? Probably stinks out here though. We do have a duplicated monument here. This is the Green Cities recycling plant next to the Sunset Harbour one. Very nice. And then some nice little pier action, which is super cute, using the American walkway pier, which again is an asset we very rarely see. Like, I kind of forget it exists as well, to be honest. And then a little banana of European suburbia with a ferry depot on it, which is a fun little design, isn't it? Nice way to use a little slither of land. And that completes kind of one of the two major islands, at least. Such a fun city to look around this. Here, we have monorail, and road crossing onto the airport island, which we'll get a grander scale of here. I love airport islands. And we have both cargo and passenger trains here. With a very nicely laid out airfield as well. Of course we get the stupid plain AI, but that can't be helped. But this is nice. Terminal frontage, we can see the museum, which is always such a powerful visual, isn't it? I feel like you always drive past the statue of a plane when you come into an airport, don't you? You're going for the double tier one, with a nice one-way loop around the back here. It's a really fun roundabout entrance there, actually. I like that. The monorail also terminates here as well. Before we'll have our bus station come in here, with the lounge and some cargo facility here. Also more helicopters, hotels, unique buildings. With lots of nice airfield detailing. Hangars, appropriate airport fence. This is a really fun drive, isn't it? I love the view across the runway, especially when you can see the planes taking off there like that, right? Great plane spotters place this. And the roads are getting used as well. Super nice. Over the cargo side, we of course have the cargo airport station. The traffic park is also there. More repeated containers by the cargo planes themselves. Airport headquarters has been very nicely interwoven in this corner, hasn't it? I really like that. Simple airport. I love that. You didn't go for the aviation code or anything, just straight up airport. I love it. And then we've also got a really nice integration of the fire helicopter depot here as well. Really nice airport. Love the airport island. Some really fun designs there, great detailing and orientation. Which brings us to our last island, although I think we'll cover these two smaller ones beforehand. So we'll come over here first, where we'll see our Space Launch Center, which is a great place for it right on the waterfront here, isn't it? Especially with the key modded in so tightly against it. Accompanied by some more industry. We have service buildings, ports, another shipyard out here. With more prop work in those spaces, all of it as well. All of it accounted for. Another wave generator. Even more fun industry down here as well. It's like we've got even a little bus stop here as well, do we? Very nice. And you've used the airport road through here too, which I really like. Like, you know, the fence road as well. So cool. And you've even gone for the European bridge here. That's a very Roman aqueduct sort of visual, that, isn't it? No boats passing through here though, which is good, I suppose. Boat police will be happy with that. Oh, look how it goes into the tunnel as well. Isn't that a fun network? Where does that emerge? Down here, I'm guessing. But this does bring us to this last main island, which is a chungus indeed. Where do we go here? We'll check out this one first, actually. So we have another tiny island out here, which looks entirely tourism focused. Again, we're seeing those little tourism 2x2 assets coming in. With cake, another hot air balloon park, skateboards, horse riding. Really nice orientation of your hotels here. I really like that. You've put that together very, very faithfully. Seaside resorts also present here with a ton of them actually available. In the old school, lots of dirt, path, road and trees all the way through these buildings really helps them settle in, doesn't it? Because they're so old school. And boat hotels and spa hotels with the ocean also out here as well, with plenty more seaside resorts. It then devolves, interestingly enough, into countryside housing and farming. And then a little European district mixed in with emerging downtowns, which is an interesting choice. How does this pair up? I suppose it is a bit of old meets new, isn't it? I think you could definitely expect to see something like this in a European city with the you could definitely expect to see this in England for sure. It'll take them about 6 weeks to clear it. I was allowed to get a permit from the felled tree police. Literally no joke. But an interesting combination. I think it's actually quite interesting, isn't it? Base game European and emerging downtowns is quite a surprising old meets new combination, isn't it? Is there more buildings here? Try it out this one. Yeah, I think I like it. Let me know what you guys think of that one. I think that's the first time we've ever seen them together like that. Bit more of an impression of it there as well. So let me know. Leave in the comments yay or nay for Emerging Downtowns meet Space Game European. And then that rounds off this really interesting island where we also see more ferries stopping over here too, which are getting use. It's a really fun little island. Now, we can get stuck into our main course, which is where should we finish in this high density area? I think we will. I think we'll cross over from here first. Big old waterfront Brooklyn and Queens district, which again, Brooklyn and Queens isn't something we see very often on waterfronts and city showcase, isn't it? But I really do like it. More of those tourism. You're obviously a huge fan of these assets, aren't you? These are everywhere. Every waterfront has the tourism stuff. I love it. You can always tell when a builder likes a particular asset, can't you? For me, it's the Catfish Cafe. For Abdo, it's the tourism assets. They're on every corner. But you've managed the curve again very nicely here, haven't you? Wonderful stuff. Another monorail line also terminates through here as well. My word, look at that sight line. That's got to be one of the best. With the monorail just piercing straight as an arrow all the way through. Very, very cool. Very glad we stumbled upon that. Is it busy? Imagine this one probably get a bit more use being around so much residential. And that takes them straight back into the city there. Fantastic. More Brooklyn and Queens with commercial, airport, apron, zoo assets also present on the front. There must be a ton of people living here. A cable car will also take them up to the castle, which we'll get to in a moment. The Brooklyn and Queens district comes to a little rocked peninsula with death care and commercial taking us around the coast and up the hill where we'll see the mountain village assets. There's a bit of a mountain village, I suppose, with a double castle combination at the top. This is always good. I love seeing this. I think these assets work so nicely together. Yeah, that's a great little hilltop castle, isn't it? You can't really complain about that. Great use of the Chirtwick and the hotel. Over here, we'll stumble across more mountain village stuff, which has a little mountain switchback road tucked in here that links back into the Brooklyn and Queens area. Very fun. Nice use of a pretty awkward hillside there, because it's right in the middle of your buildable space, isn't it? But it's a really nice terrain feature. This little pocket over here, we'll discover factories, and, well, no factories I don't think, just warehouses, right? Yeah, I think so. Warehouses with a metro yard. Again, possibly the first metro yard we've seen in City Showcase. That's a really nice compliment to that station, isn't it? We'll have to try that. Over here, storage of resources, water, malls, industrial evolution is also here. For an emerging downtowns district mixes with vanilla residential upon the hillside. Yeah, we'll see more European and emerging downtowns here. Space Needle is in as well, Space Elevator, although it looks like it's turned off because it's very quiet. It's never that quiet. And then over here, more garbage recycling. I wonder if are you overstocked on garbage recycling, I wonder? I've seen a ton of assets for it today. Let's check. Yeah, enormous. Enormous amount. About 10 times as much. Brilliant. They are great industrial assets. I don't blame you for using a lot of them. Emerging downtowns with a... Isn't that such a unique district? Especially with the curvy roads in here when it's not blocked. Very, very interesting. I do like the European downtown combination. Or emerging European, whatever you want to call it. What yeah, a little service block in here as well. With some random vanilla housing too. The level 5 one. Very fun. Over here, we have a port next to the highway with overgrowth and a little prop work yard here. With fantastic gate detailing. I love that. You've gone with the suburban fencing and the oil fence as the gate. Very tasteful. Creative use of the official assets. Another cargo train station with train yard ends the line here before we come under the crossing. They're kind of a Dutch style thing, right? I'm sure they have a name, can't remember what they're called. And then that takes us to the last of the outside connections. If we come back to this big European district here, we'll also find our third campus next to the medical center monument. But again, it's small, it's tasteful, nothing's been overly used. Ignore the medical building. That monument is the worst one. But all the uniques are here again as well. Even the academic library, which is such a nice combination with the city university assets, isn't it? Another blimp stop here too. Sorry, hot air balloon ride. Garbage recycling in the campus is an interesting choice. And then we also have the aquatic center out here. Where's our main building? Which is over here, next door to the commencement office and some further parks. Also got a stadium present in the campus as well, which I love. Love to see a campus football team. And next door to this, we're greeted with a huge wave of vanilla housing, which I think highlights the importance of historicalization, doesn't it? There's no comment on the builder's ability, of course. It's just these assets. The level 5 vanilla residential looks like it's out of like a Saturday morning cartoon, doesn't it? Like this is where like Dexter's lab lives, you know? Looks like a kind of like a Powerpuff Girls house. Bit cartoonish, isn't it? I just don't get on with them. But there's a lot of them here, an enormous amount of them, which heads up to the baseball pitch and the design hotel, which then neighbours an enormous European district again, which is combined with mid-century, no, modern city centre. I always confuse those two. And then another seaside resorts district as well, which is full of the usual dirt paths, roundabouts and trees. So a real mix of different districts over here, isn't there? Seaside resorts, modern city centre, European, vanilla housing, a campus, multiple stadium and a monument. Very interesting district. With the European bridge also linking them back to the airport island as well. Beyond this, we're coming to huge swaths of residential, both green cities and vanilla, with that monorail integration coming all the way through them as well. They've even got a little monorail crossroads. Isn't that fun? Isn't that really fun? I love that. Down here. We'll stick this side of the highway first. Mid-centre, modern city centre. Just got it confused. Modern city centre is there. Next to a little tucked-in forestry area with production in the middle. These are functional tree plantations here with processing and storage aplenty. All available, tucked in very nicely against the networks here. Before we arrive at a castle ruin roundabout, bringing us into a little Afro-Korean miniature district, which has a lot of very pink buildings in it. But nice to see Afro-Korean miniature zoning, not something we come across very often in City Showcase at all. And then that takes us back into that Brooklyn and Queen district down there. And love the ability to naturally weave in park spaces where it looks like they belong. Little elementary school pattern here too. Really fun. Really nice. This brings us back to the Cloverleaf interchange as we come into a huge gridded green cities district with commercial lining our main streets, pathways behind those, and elevated zoo path to boot. Points for that. There's so many nice arterial sight lines down here, isn't there? Because all the roads are just running off in the direction. It's what you get with these very neatly organised, perfectly measured builds. Such a unique visual. And even the little corners have been taken care of with markets, bit of airport apron or surface painter lightly. Same thing really, isn't it? With all the residential tucked in. And just giving you some gorgeous sight lines, especially the view of the castle from down in the neighbourhood as well. As we swing around this side, we'll discover a hugely textured and tiled amusement park. That must have took you hours to get that done. But it helps, doesn't it? Because these assets, the tile on the bottom of them just stands out so much, I think, if it's not surrounded by it. So it does help it, to be fair. And then all your amusement park assets. And the same with all the other parks, it's not overly done. There's one or two of each of the assets and it's all nicely arranged and measured. With some camping nature reserve assets also present in here as well. Our arterial roads all the way along this coast are just tree-lined and, well, bush-lined mostly. With all this walkable quay. Which isn't too busy, unfortunately. There's a person down there using it. which is a bit of a shame. I always like a walkable quay. And then pathways, of course, taking them back into to the land. With King Leno's mall stuff sat by our ferry stop here, which again is getting use. This island also has wonderful views as well, of course, across to the rest of the city here. There's a few islands we missed in the bay. Over here we have a totally self-sufficient island that is connected by only ferries. You can see the death, police, fire and garbage required for them to function here. And then on this middle island, which is connected by very impressive networking, right? Got 4 bridges all coming across this big stretch of water. Train, road, and road again. But road with trams on the lower level. And this is great. Although it looks like the ferries are going under it. Just a little bit of a tight squeeze maybe, but that's okay. Rannoch had boats hitting the bridges too. A busy network with these as well, right? Clearly very key busy arterial roads cutting through the middle of the city. Although it looks like it is mainly AI stupidity stopping you. Where does this go to? Just here, is it? Yeah, it's just the AI doing the little dance, isn't it? That's all that's causing that. And then this island has more port infrastructure. Our ferry terminal is also here as well. Alongside hotels, attractions, and a balloon. Wonderful. Back to the mainland, we'll arrive back at the amusement park and head alongside the highway up to more European suburbia. Which again, as always, is perfectly gridded with corners taken care of, paths between buildings, overgrowth and rocks. Like really not a single spot of the city we've seen today has been left untouched, has it? Like, even these little awkward corners where you might have a bit of a ring road have been taken care of. Just the attention to detail and time that's gone into the build is very abundant, isn't it? I think that's a take home from today. Another nicely busy intercity bus station on the waterfront with, I love this high-speed access road as well. So people can move around the city quickly, rather than having to always take the highway through the middle. Look at that arrangement, isn't that nice? I love parallel networks. It's just, it tickles something in my creative brain when you see it all running in the same direction. Don't know why. Don't know why. A commercial block helps break up this huge residential district with a motel and a supermarket around here too. And then a little elevated zoo pathway, of course, helping people cross back into. We've even gone for mixed elevated path there. We've got campus and zoo. Very nice. With tons of fencing and detailing down this major network. You can even see the metro rising up here again too, almost on like a little embankment, can't you? Oh, it's totally embanked all the way down. So at the back of the station's also protruding. This is a custom asset, this one. If you're wondering, because I know I did. But that's really cool, right? You've integrated the foundation of the station just into your infrastructure. Great layering. Really, really nice layering. As we approach the end of the build here, we come into a huge, what looks like kind of an activity nature park. We've got trenches here. This must have a name. Sunset Marsh, there you go. So a nice little nature reserve for us. It's some really interesting features. You've got all the abandoned cemeteries and castles and stuff in here. Nice pathways with fire watchtowers too, lots of caves. And well, the lodge hotel's also down here as well. I wonder if that helps it meet its criteria being sat there. Yeah, it does. That's not a bad way to get that to work, actually. Although you do need the shopping in the office, which is so stupid, isn't it? Like, why does a mountain lodge want office and shopping space next to it? I hate the hotel mechanic. Which does, like, great assets, but the mechanic is total balls. It makes no sense at all. Over here, we'll come into our last bit of high density. I think starting from here with some crazy layering as the train passes over the monorail. And right by the Copper Ball Stadium, which is very impressive, isn't it? We've got elder care in particular, more stadia, garbage recycling services, one of my favourite stations, the metro and tram, which looks quite nicely busy. Yes, please. Parking, European Commercial, the Deluxe Hotel, which is such a beast, isn't it? It's got to be one of the chunkiest assets in the game. But on a waterfront, by commercial space, it's always welcome, isn't it? Again, just look at the network layering here. It's got quay, road, path, road, and then road again. Like, it's just so well planned. Love to look at it. So you're getting some short segment spice here. But it's not horrific, is it? It's a little bit of traffic. Stadium and pitches make up this side of the building. Where we then come into what is, I guess, kind of a third skyline made up of modern Japan. Skyscrapers, hotels in there as well, a bit of parts of Korea. Great use of the Sahara kind of conference center as well. From the Africa pack. Difficult asset to use that one, but it's very impressive if you get it right. And a whole bunch of unique buildings. We've got the Asian Zoo and Temple next to the Statue of Liberty. With the monorail station also passing by here as well. Water wall. With the blimp stop also there. Is this one as busy as the other one was? It has just picked up, to be fair though, so maybe it got them all. Water wall and more hotels make up this waterfront, and we can enjoy more extreme parallel network spice down here, can't we? I love it. Tons of fishing in the city, you can tell by all of the waterways. They're so busy, aren't they? The fish farm completes our water wall district as we arrive down here, where we've also got another factory. That's a service point, isn't it? It is, yeah. 2 service points tied together. And then the monorail terminates into a ferry stop, car parking, and antenna with bonfires, which is a very, very interesting choice of roundabout decoration. Next to the lighthouse, of course. And that drops us off there. And then we checked this one out, didn't we? Yes, we did. We did. Which brings us to the end of possibly one of the most satisfying city showcases that I think we have ever done in the series so far. Really enjoyed looking around that, and there's tons of inspiration here as well on just how so few mods can make such an enormous difference to CS1 with the official assets. Some really nice ideas all throughout this build. And I hope for those of you familiar with Istanbul at least, you can see the crossover between American Grid and Istanbul inspired stuff, which apparently the city was referenced by. Don't forget, if you want your work to feature next time, please fill out the link to the Google form in the video description. I'll do my best to load your cities and showcase off some of our communities. Like, really find this work. You guys are amazing builders. And an enormous shout out to the YouTube members and patrons that support these videos, with a shout out to our golden patron eggs, Casino, Spartan Angel, Michael W, Bad Wolf, Louis Adlam, Phoenix MD, Jamin, and Great C. Thank you so much indeed for your incredible support. If you want to get involved in that, links down below to Patreon, Instant Gaming, always the best way. Either way, enjoy the cinematics of today's wonderful build, and I'll catch you in the next one. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day.